Alright, hello and welcome back to Space Quest 6. We're going to hop up here in the captain's seat. And let's see about taking off. We're going to turn the power on. And we can try to take off with the initiation button, but the intermix is not correctly set, and we must first make the necessary adjustments before initiating the launch sequence. This is how we do the intermix. So this is kind of an interesting puzzle. I like it. The current code is lasagna, and here we have a number of elements listed, which we can change. And this could be tough if you don't know much of the periodic table, particularly with the first one. La is lanthium. Whatever. Not exactly an element that we think of frequently, but we're going to switch it with this guy up here. Lanthium, and then S is sulfur, Ag, silver, and neon is already up. So we have that, and then we should be able to initiate. Intermix confirmed. Stand by for retinal scan. So this is why we needed that guy's eye. Now, in hindsight, I kind of wish I had already done this in the last video, but that's fine. We'll just do it here, and there's going to be a couple of cutscenes that follow.
Let's see if this sucker works.
I really should have just finished the escape in the last video, but whatever, it doesn't matter. This video might end up being a little longer than I otherwise would have wanted to. But here we are attempting our escape. We have some stormtroopers who storm the area, showing off their legendarily poor aim.
Hey, here's your fish!
And of course, the fish that we simply cannot get rid of, he just sort of tosses up onto our the outside of our vehicle here. Not bad graphics for the time period, in my opinion. Kind of a fun addition. Impressive that Roger managed to not crash. Maybe not impressive, but surprising at least.
Janitor Wilco, what are you doing? You have no authorization to take that shuttle. To make matters worse, you have launched into the middle of a super double reverse anti-anomaly.
Super double reverse.
You will turn that ship around immediately and head back to the shuttle bay. Do you understand, Wilco?
Bite me, Commander.
What was that last transmission, Wilco?
We're having a little problem with the signal, sir. I mean, with all due respect, sir, I did plead with you not to leave Stellar behind. Sir, I sense that something's just not right with that community. I don't believe Stellar is dead, and I just can't leave her there. I'm going to do this, sir, regardless of the consequences. Stellar saved my life not once, but twice. I owe her.
Well, that was her own stupid mistake. I demand that you return at once, Wilco. If you do so and surrender now, your record will be taken into consideration during your disciplinary hearing.
Oh, that'll help you loads.
I'm sorry, sir, but I just can't. I have to do this.
Wilco, you fool!
Transmission terminated. I think this is the
Just
first
then, the
time that
shuttle is
Roger
sucked
actually
into the
refused to follow in direct order.
Communication with the deep ship has been disrupted.
Sucked into the anti-anomaly. Yeah, I think this is actually the first time that Roger officially disregarded an order, which is interesting, because technically his name Roger Wilco. Wilco is kind of radio code for, will comply. So his name literally translates to, I understand and I'm going to do what you told me to. And up until now, he always did that. Any of his adventures or misadventures were kind of thrust upon him in one way or the other, I think. I might be misremembering. All right, so we've kind of stalled out here. We're going to hit this little blinking button and meet Manuel.
Sir, I am unable to access the navigational computer. I am guessing that it may have overloaded just as the divalium crystal somehow went offline. Once repairs have been made and the shuttle engines have been refired, I believe I can follow the deep ship's ion trail back to Delta Berxilon 5.
That would be quite cool, Manuel. You sure about that?
Once the divalium crystal has been repaired, our electrical system reestablished, and the engines fired, I am 97.2% certain.
Why only 97.2%?
I judged 97.2% to sound more hip to our audience than would 100. You would have to mention it.
Sorry.
Don't apologize to me. It's the players you ruined it for.
Thanks for caring, Manuel. Manual override. All right, so we have two tasks. There's a divalium crystal we have to repair, and we need to get our electrical system back online. So we're going to grab a couple items here, some of which we don't actually need just yet. We're going to pop the hood and the trunk.
You pull the handle and hear something release on the outside of the shuttle.
And we can close this. Now, unless I'm mistaken, it doesn't actually matter which order you do these two things in. I'm going to take care of the crystal first because it happens to be what they mentioned first. So we're going to open this guy up right here, and there's not really a strong indication that there's something there. I mean, at least not something that you would expect to be able to alter. Let's take a peek at the crystal.
Wow. Crystal seems to have broken. I swear it wasn't me.
Now this is tough.
Now we're in deep.
You may recall...
Hey, I've gotten us this far, haven't I?
That's true, Roger. It's very true. You may recall when we were messing with the...
Yes, and what a wonderful place it is.
All right, it's enough. Enough out of you.
How did I get hooked up in this deal? My agent's going to be hearing from me big time.
All right. Yeah, so you may recall that with this device here... What in the world is happening? Let me give the game a second to catch up. There we go. All right. With this device here, if we open it up, there's this little green crystal down here that we can actually take out. Now, requiring you to remember that is kind of a brutal ask, in my opinion, but ask they do. We're going to exit out of here, go into our pockets, and we actually have to put glue on two separate things. We got to put glue on this crystal.
You pour glue all over the crystal.
And on the piece of the crystal over here. So we put glue on both pieces, and we're going to use the crystal in our pocket to kind of fill in the gap that got created when this crystal cracked.
You hold the glue-coated segment to the broken divalium crystal for 10 seconds to set the glue.
I like that it's for 10 seconds. I always forget that that's there. We also need to grab this little piece of paper here. We don't just need to read it once, we actually have to read it a second time. So we can see these kind of marks here.
It feels slightly gritty.
Yes, thank you. But you also want to take this out. This is a recall notice, and you want to click it on Roger so he reads it.
It would appear that merging those two items is
never mind.
not a good...
We're going to use our eyes and read it in here. There we go.
It's the recall notice for the owner's manual.
And I'll read this.
It reads, Dear
Oh,
Ham
never mind.
Shuttle Owner,
He's
it
doing
has
it.
come to our attention that there is a minor misprint in the owner's manual for the 1000 series of shuttles. Until a new manual can be acquired, please disregard page 73, paragraph 4 of that manual.
Let's see. So it says, where it reads, quote, as any moron knows, when jumping the 1000 series, please match the positive cable with the positive terminal on the polar flux repeater deck. Follow the same procedure for the negative cable and negative pole. But in reality, what it should say is, as any moron knows, when jumping the 1000 series, please match the positive cable with the, I'm going to call those like football goal posts pole, and the negative cable with the circle pole. Thank you for flying a hamster. Very good. So positive goes with the goalposts, negative with the circle. So we're going to get our AVS suit out. Be nice if they would just put it on for us, but no such luck. So after taking it, we're going to go in our pockets and put it on. And the helmet. Wonderful. And we can step outside. We're going to ignore the hood for now. We're going to grab our fish. Roger has an odd ability to kind of swim through space. Maybe it's a special feature of the suit. Alright, we've recovered our fish, and we're going to come back here. We're going to get these jumper cables. But we can't really jump the ship ourselves, so we're going to need some assistance. And of course, in the vastness of space, all we need to do is put up a little help wanted sign. Grab the sign, throw it up on the vehicle here. The 1000 series hamster. Some time passes. Roger continues to float. I believe he just checked his watch. More time passes. Let's see, playing chess against himself, I think. And even more time passes. Stella is doing great throughout all of this. Roger takes a nap. And finally a ship flies by and decides to check us out. And in a series of weird encounters, we end up with this rather odd encounter, as you'll see.
Hello, sweetheart. You look like you could use a little assistance. Is there anything I can do?
Here's Wriggley.
Well, yes, there is. Thanks for stopping.
Well, you just name it, I guess.
It seems I've stalled my engines. Could you give me a jump? I have cables.
I'd jump you in a heartbeat, dollface. I guess you must have got caught up in that anti-anomaly. It can be a real pain in the... Well, anyway, let's get it done.
Why this lady is so interested in Roger, I couldn't imagine.
Well, here's your end of the cables.
I guess space can be a very lonely place.
I'll let you know when I'm all hooked up. Contact!
These cables are also a heck of a lot longer than they initially look. Click where you want to put the red cable. Alright, so this guy we're going to attach over here to our football posts. Click where you want to put the blue cable. And this one we're going to put on the 0 or circle or whatever it is.
Okay, Manuel, we're all hooked up. Give it a try.
Messing that up doesn't go particularly well for Roger.
Bye-bye, Sugar Bunny.
So it's probably not obvious based on that
Heavy rain
interaction,
along.
but Wriggley is actually, I believe, a reference to
Hey,
Ripley,
thanks for stopping to help me.
as in Ellen Ripley,
See ya.
and that will become slightly more evident as she enters the ship, and behind her, a rather xenomorph-looking alien slips in behind her. Well, that may be the last time that we see Wriggley anytime in the series. Alright, let's pop back on board.
Don't pick at it.
Yeah. Just get on board.
Don't pick at it. You'll only...
Let's try this. Pretty sure I just...
That wouldn't prove full. Don't pick at it. You'll only...
There we go. I don't know. Because I was just clicking in the wrong spot.
You neatly replace the EVA suit in its proper place.
Alright, should be back in action. Let's see if we can fire up these engines. Power, I believe, is on.
Good work, sir. I believe I can now follow the ion trail of Deep Ship 86 back to Delta Berxalon 5.
Alright, let's fire up. Initiating warp sequence. Now we're going to have, frankly, an oddly easy time of things here on Delta Berxalon. Just kind of land and get to go off on our merry way. Nobody here is questioning where this strange shuttle came from. Nobody from our ship, the deep ship, contacted them to let us know we were coming or let anyone know anything was happening. I'm gonna head down to Lab A, which is the place we teleported into earlier. And as we break into this guy's lab, he really doesn't mind. You'd think, I don't know, maybe you have to hide from him or anything.
Wow, a mad scientist working on a planet called Delta Berxalon. You wonder what he's doing here? Designing women, perhaps? Sorry?
It's not really the most brutal pun they've made, but yeah, Delta Berxalon is just probably a reference to TV show Designing Women with Delta Burke,
Hello,
the actress.
Janitor Wilco, what in blazes are you doing here?
Well, Doc, I got a distress call.
I got a distress call.
So why are you here?
I think he answered that, but
Because I know it originated here. In fact, it was from Stellar Santiago.
dun dun dun.
You're out of your mind, Wilco. Now go away and leave me alone. I've got important work to do. Goodbye.
All right.
I know something's up here, Doc, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. You'll be sorry, pal.
Yes, whatever you say, Wilco. Just get out of my face.
And then he just kind of leaves. Now, how you really know what to do here is a little bit limited, in my opinion. You can turn on the computer. You can see that it has a cyber jack. Try to use these cyber functions, because we were trying to use a cyber function to get to the internet, essentially. And it tells us we need to have a cyberspace jack. So I suppose we are going to have to try to figure out where we can get one. Now, there is a location back on Polysorbate that we never went to, where we could have learned a little bit of information that we're going to now learn about. But first, we're going to steal some high-tech stuff. Think this is the right one?
You take possession of the Callahan Muddy.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what the Callahan Muddy is. So if anyone knows what that's a reference to, I'd love to hear it. But I do not know. Either way, we do want to take that. And we're going to go back to the docking bay. Back to our ship. And we're going to take off to head back to Polysorbate. Although we're going to have to do a tiny little, I don't even know what you want to call it. I suppose it's a puzzle, but it's not really all that much of a puzzle to find our way back. Reminds me a couple of the visuals in The Dig. Loosely reminds me of some of the visuals in Lands of Lore 2.
Sir, I believe I may be able to tap myself into the PTS and perform a limited set of functions.
PTS?
Yes, sir. PTS, the Photo Triangulation System. It was installed as a crude backup navigational device to the modern navigational computer system. It's what you see before you mount it in the middle view screen.
Ah, yes, wonderful. All right, let's turn on the PTS here. So basically, I don't understand how this is supposed to work, or really even why this is included, because it's not really much of a puzzle. We're just going to take two pictures of, I guess, space. There we go. And then we're going to pull them apart, so we have the positive and negatives.
You peel apart the photo and negative from your first PTS image.
And we'll do this one as well.
You peel apart the photo and negative from the second PTS image.
And exactly how two photos of the same thing, whether they're positives or negatives, helps us triangulate, I don't know. But we're going to put the negative of the first photo, I think, and the positive of the second photo, hopefully I remember these right, on top of each other. The computer's going to kind of absorb them and somehow use that information to triangulate a path to
The PTS is online and
Polysorbate.
working. We can now launch to Polysorbate.
Would make
This looks like the launch initiative.
a little more sense if they were at least from different locations, but from the exact same spot, I don't know. Whatever, it works. Gets us there. we are starting to round the corner on this video, getting close to the end. Let's see. Oh, I believe I have to talk to Manuel.
I am here to serve you, sir.
Thanks.
What may I do for you, sir?
Beat me down, Manny.
Step over to the transport pad and I will beam you down to the surface of polysorbate.
Manuel tosses you a transport signaler.
You can only use this from the place I beam you to.
This might actually be our smoothest transport in the entire game. It's one of my favorite fake movie titles, Raiders of the Lost Semicircle. Okay, let's head in this direction. And we're going to go into the store that we never actually went to last time. A store that might be interested in some high-tax stuff. Let's head down to implants and stuff, where we're going to meet an old friend. At least the second old friend from Space Quest 3. Let's take a look at him.
Yikes! Can it be? Why, yes it is. It's Fester Blatz, former owner and proprietor of Fester's World of Wonders, a cheesy little tourist trap on the desert planetoid of Fleabot. The t-shirt looks, and unfortunately smells, like the same one he wore on Fleabot. He has the expression of someone enjoying a permanent wedgie. He has aged somewhat. Looks like he's grown a few more neck rings. These last few years have been rough on him. From what you remember of him, he used to be kind of an aqua blue. Now he looks like a used lug liner, or the color of a Vorillion miner's loogie.
All right, let's have a chat here.
Howdy, stranger. The name's Blatz, Fester Blatz. Welcome to Implants and Stuff. Go ahead, have a look around at some of the most interesting replacement body components this lovely planetoid has to offer.
Body replacement components.
Oh, a nice fresh sales pitch.
All right, so a lot of these we are not interested in, but let's look at this guy here.
Brain-dead products have been a staple of the home-built being hobbyist for decades now. They make a fine line of adapter plugs which allow for cross-species component swapping. Means you'll be able to pick up parts anywhere other beings exist. Nice deal, huh?
He's actually going to explain moddies too, which I forgot when I was talking about it earlier.
Make a pretty fine moddy. Get tired of what kind of mood your droid, or spouse for that matter, is in? Why, you just slap in one of those babies and bingo! You can modify them into a whole new attitude. Find a wife type who won't pay some big buckazoids for that. Too bad the sale of them is illegal. About all I do is trade for them. It's one of them loopholes, guess you could say. Kinda developed a hobby of collecting the suckers.
All right, so he's interested in collecting moddies. Let me see. I can't remember if there's actually any of the cyberjacks out.
So this is where old Fester ended up after the total collapse of the never-thriving tourist
I don't want to
trade
hear
on
all that.
sandy
Alright. Either way, we can scroll down here and... Nope, not that guy. Wait, where's the Mahdi? There it is, right at the top. We're going to offer him this Mahdi, the Callahan Mahdi, as he eats his, I guess, ear wax?
Hello there, Mr. Blatz. I think I have something you might be interested in.
Think so, eh?
Oh, I really think you'll find it interesting.
Really?
Ooh.
A lot of excitement from Fester.
Why, I'd love to take that off your hands. Of course, you realize that it's illegal to sell those, but I could trade you for something. Look around and see what interests you.
I could really use a cyberspace jack.
Yes, we could.
Tell you what, I'll trade you for one of those fine specimens in the case. What do you say?
Abby normal?
No, I want the jack or it's no deal.
Oh, now take it easy, Sonny. I think we can do business.
Just taunting Fester with our Callahan Mahdi.
I'm glad you see it my way. It's been a pleasure. Take care, Fester. I gotta fly.
And that's it. We're done with Fester. We can get out of here. We do have to go back to the other screen like Manuel told us in order to use our transponder signaler. So let's do that. Ah, Aliens is that old classic. I don't know why it took so long to transition to this page, but whatever. It's just part of playing on this older version of the game. It just works slowly. That is alright. We shall survive. Alright. Strong work, Manuel. Hop back in our chair. Take off for Delta Burke.
Then, the Galactican said, if I did have hover capabilities, I wouldn't need the cleft snorter. Ah, excuse me, sir. How may I enhance your efforts?
Not really sure who he's talking to. Don't know if I should be worried or not. And Delta Burke, let's take off. Initiating warp sequence. Wonderful. Let's disembark.
The shuttle feels flimsy.
Let's disembark. Second time's the charm. Back down to Lab A again. Let's head in. I don't actually remember if the doctor's here. I think he actually is. He just lets us mess with his stuff. Yep, just hangs out over here. And we're gonna plug in our jack.
That's an interesting idea. Not a good one, but
Maybe we have to turn the power. Oh, I'm still using the jack.
that's an interesting.
Alright, let's turn the power on first. Alright, now it wants the jack plugged in. And with this, we will enter cyberspace. Quite literally. And we find ourselves on the Information Superhighway, which is where we will end this video. When we come back, we will investigate the Information Superhighway and see if we can learn any useful information on Stella's whereabouts. But until then, see ya.